Welcome back. The wife of the president, Mrs. Patience Goodluck Jonathan, has dispelled reports that she was secretly flown to Germany for an urgent medical treatment. Mrs. Jonathan, who paid a condolence visit to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Senator Bala Mohammed, over the death of his elder brother, said the president asked her to commiserate with the minister on his behalf. The minister then used the visit to dispel reports of the First Lady's ill health.
We have come to condole with you, especially myself and my friends and my family, because my husband especially asked me to make sure that I reach you, want to condole with you, to tell you sorry for what has happened to your family. Because today your family and our family are one. Whatever happens to you happens to us. We have come to see.
As I was saying when we came privately, I saw some expressions of mischief and treachery about your person in the media recently, that you are sick. By the grace of God, you will not be sick, guys. Our mother cannot be sick. She is here resplendent. She is here beautiful, standing tall about all the and you will continue to give us guidance and make us happy by the grace of God. They have forgotten that everybody is blood and flesh. Everybody can be sick. You are sick and you are well and you will be well forever.
Senator Bala Mohammed, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. The Gulf of Guinea has been described as one of the most dangerous maritime areas in the world, and maritime insecurity has contributed in crippling the economy of countries which participate in maritime trade. Nigeria is one of those countries and is getting a lot of help from its international partners. For the past few years, the British government has sent naval and military personnel to help train our own forces to better protect our waters, which is why the HMS Portland berthed at the Apapa port last week. Among its 190-strong naval personnel and officers were those who came out on land to participate in training exercises with members of the Nigerian Navy.
It is not every day there is a visit by foreign ships at our ports, but it's been quite a regular and welcome one. The British government has been proving to Nigeria that whatever threatens her security is a threat to Britain as well.
As you all know, the Nigerian Navy essentially is an offshoot of the Royal Navy. And to that extent, we always work together for the mutual development of our navies.
The HMS Portland Type 23 frigate is a very special ship. It is fitted with the vertical launch Sea Wolf system, which is its first line of defense against aircraft and incoming missile attack. Its Harpoon missile system is relied upon for long-range surface-to-surface targets, and the 4.5 Mk8 gun is used to provide naval fire and support at distances over 10 miles, as well as the ability to engage surface targets. It's a frigate that can comfortably fight a battle without being anywhere close to its target. But while fighting battles is not its aim in Nigeria, aboard are men and women who will train the Nigerian Navy to fight the battle against terrorism and piracy on the high seas.
It's a challenge we all share. We've just actually come from Cape Verde and we were doing boarding operations there as well with their security forces, and it's something we're able to offer to Nigeria as well.
According to a report by Chatham House, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea accounted for nearly 30% of attacks in African waters between 2003 and 2011, and the proportion is increasing, mainly happening off the coasts of Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria and the Republic of Congo.
We are continuing to take a very active interest in the many issues in the Gulf of Guinea and indeed elsewhere. And I think that Portland's presence, her interaction with the Nigerian and indeed with other navies on exercise a little later on, will be helpful, I think, to all concerned. We have enormous security and commercial interest in the Gulf of Guinea.
The war must be won, as maritime security is important in maintaining the flow of revenues from oil and gas, which contribute significantly to the development of the region. Britain says it stands by Nigeria all the way to sea security on our waters. Amarachi Ubani, Channels Television News.
And now to Edo State, where residents of Ozala in Owen West local government area are appealing to the state governments to come to their aid following the rainstorm that wreaked havoc in the community. The rainstorm blew off the roofs of over 100 houses and destroyed several houses and other houses and properties in its wake. In our community report tonight, the residents are calling for urgent help from the emergency agencies to prevent further destruction from the coming rains.
Over 100 houses in this community are destroyed. Farmlands in ruins. This is Ozala community in Edo State, visited by rainstorm. Residents are still in shock and disbelief. They have cried out for help and immediate succor to their pains.
About 150 houses in Ozala here. If you watch out, if you watch outside now, the place is being eroded with breeze all over. Some petty works over houses were pulled off, with the roof removed.
The Edo State House of Assembly responds to their cry, shifting action to the National and State Emergency Agency. They have ordered they create some makeshift homes for the internally displaced ones.
But beyond relief material, we also insisted that the Ministry of Environment, both and the Ministry of Orientation, the Orientation Agency, should, as a matter of fact, go on public enlightenment program, because truly climate change is real. If you look at the rain period that we now see, it completely opposite to what we are used to.
However, as the state government awaits response from the relief agencies, it has decided on its own help plan.
The relevant directors, they've already gone to do in the spot assessment, so as to be able to know how to put forward to government the kind of help those people will need.
As the entire Ozala is trapped in this disaster, with everyone counting their losses, all eyes are now on the authorities, their action plans, and the results afterwards.
And now to the arts. Having traveled so far is a group exhibition at the Omenka Gallery in Lagos. The curator, Luciano Zebu, explains the idea behind this five-man show which displays paintings done by renowned African artists. On Art Review tonight, we take a look at this exhibition.
They may not be the famous five from the adventure series, but they are famous in their own right and have brought adventures here for everyone to enjoy and probably learn a thing or two from.
It's an exhibition in collaboration with Artco, one of the leading galleries in Germany, representing contemporary African artists.
They're not here in the flesh to explain more about it. The curators in charge of the show tell us more about the works and the reason behind the exhibition, titled Having Traveled Far.
Some of the artists on the exhibition today are Owusu Nkoma, who's very well known internationally, and some Stanley, who's Nigerian. Owusu is Ghanaian. Some Stanley is in Nigeria, as I mentioned. Manela Sambo, the only female in the group, she's from Angola. There's also Godfrey Donko, who's a Ghanaian, extremely well known internationally, well exhibited in some of the most prestigious institutions in the world. And we also have Loco, he's from Togo. So it's a whole mix of international artists from Africa, but though they're based in Germany, they still maintain through their works very strong roots. So it's a very international show with well-respected contemporary artists, some of the leading African artists and practicing today. And the reason why we decided to have this exhibition is because we feel that most of our Nigerian artists want to go and show abroad internationally all the time. But it's about time that we begin to think that Lagos is also a creative hub and people should also want to come here to exhibit in Lagos. We've got very diverse techniques, very diverse themes and styles. We have a lot of very respectable collectors.
The works are done by some of the biggest names on the contemporary African art scene who've been living and working outside Africa. They remain true to their roots, which is reflected in their art.
If you look at the last 3-4 years, we've tried to bring African and international artists together. That way they will share artistic cultures, and then we'll have a cross-fertilization of artistic representation. So that is exactly the reason why Omeka is doing that. So art is an international thing. It's not restricted to a particular culture or locality. So everybody should share art. So whatever represents our artistic culture ought to be shared. And then we see how the international or foreign artistic culture rubs off on what we do. So the world at large promotes that sort of hybrid.
As individuals, their styles are as different as night and day.
Well, there are a lot of differences, maybe with themes. The themes of work. And Nigerian work is more Nigeria-centric. The themes are the market themes, we don't know some things that are happening in Nigeria, which Nigerian artists want to tackle. But we still see a lot of the same themes in Nigeria, which we're used to. Dance themes, festivals. But here we have artists who are looking more international.
And 5 experiences are also reflected in their works of art.
It works with a lot of symbols. Some of them can be traced to the people of Akan, the Akan people in Ghana, his native Ghana. We see a lot of symbols. We see some of them are from Adinkra material. He's internationalized these symbols that are mainly used in Ghana, and we put them on the international stage. And I think that's the beauty of his art. Deep within the canvases, the large format canvases, we see the figures of men. So he's almost talking about his own personal cosmology, his own personal nucleus and cosmic universe. So that's what you see mainly in his work, which he calls a microcosm series.
Still ahead on the news at 10. Stationery Stores Football Club of Lagos return to the Nigeria Football League. That's on Sports News. Please join us again.